what what does it mean that entanglement it is functioning so properly without any mistake? What does it mean actually? Where is happening entanglement? Entanglement is happening in the universe. Everything that happens is in the universe. And entanglement is a proof that universe is intelligent system. Definitely, universe is intelligent system. Now, definitely, now scientists will start discussing about what does it mean intelligence, and they will relate this with the information and information here and there. But there is something else here. If I see this pen in the front of my eyes, I know that the pen is in front of my eyes. I do not need that my mind is creating information about this fact. I do not need to think now the pen is in front of my head in order to understand that the pen is in front of my head, or let's say better, to know that the pen is in front of my head. I just see it and I know it. And this is the property of consciousness. Consciousness does not think about anything. Consciousness knows everything. And because everything what happens in the consciousness, because consciousness is the fundamental energy field of the universe in which everything else is existing, okay? Entangled particles are connected through the consciousness because they are moving in the consciousness. And consciousness simply knows. Consciousness does not think about. Consciousness simply knows. And definitely, I'm sure that science, mainstream science, will need maybe, I don't know, 100 years to get this point. But we publish already all this. But we don't get international community, scientific community attention. I don't know why. And I even don't care anymore why. Consciousness is described mathematically as the n-dimensional complex space. In other terms, consciousness can be expressed as a photon in the n-dimensional complex space, and this photon frequency tends to infinite and its wavelength tends to 0. This is, as far I understand, the best description of consciousness, but this is still far away from consciousness, okay? But definitely consciousness play a very important role in science, especially in physics, that is the queen of science. Why? This was already proved and understood by Copenhagen interpretation of quantum mechanics. Elementary particle has no physical properties until is not observed, or I should say, my English not so good, until is observed. So elementary particles, to get physical properties, let's say a spin, okay, or angular momentum, needs to be observed. Who is observing elementary particle? The observer. This is what we call in physics the observer. And the observer is consciousness itself. So when consciousness is observing, the fact of observation, where we measure, okay, we need to measure. Consciousness is observing measurement process, where interaction with the particle and mechanism of measurement happens, then we get physical properties of elementary particles. This is a very essential to be understood. So the way we measure defines quantum mechanics. But there is something here which is really amazing. This is time. What is time in physics? Okay. Years ago, Italian physicist Ignazio Licata told me once in the phone call, he said to me, Amrit, for us physicists, time is duration. This was one of the most crucial conversations in my 35 years career of, 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 of being in physics every day from the early morning to the late night. So I was meditating upon this this sentence. For us physicists, time is duration. So the idea that time is a fourth dimension of space is a completely wrong idea. Okay. And we have, because of this idea, we have so much trouble in physics for more than 100 years. Observer consciousness is observing and experiencing universe. So when I move this pen from here to here, consciousness is observing this motion and is recognizing that this motion has happened. And what consciousness experiences is motion. There is no time here at all. There is no trace of time in the universe. Okay. But when I have to take my watch, sorry, 1 second. But when a scientist, a physicist, is taking the clock in hands, okay, and say, now I will measure duration of this pen motion. And what physicist is doing? He is comparing the motion with the movement of the clock. And then he's concluding, uh, a pen motion has duration of 5 seconds. Okay. But we are still today not aware in physics that this pen is not moving in time. Okay. This pen is moving only in space, and this space is time invariant. Okay. There is no time in the universe. So, time in physics is an emergent physical quantity that appears, that is born with the measurement from the side of the observer. This is something very crucial to be understood. So not only that the physical properties of elementary particles are defined in the process of measurement, also time is defined in the process of measurement. In physics, we create time when we measure it, but there is no time if we don't use clocks. If we don't use clocks, there is only material change, there is only motion. And let's go back now. Universe is intelligent system, and this intelligence is consciousness itself. So the intelligence of consciousness is expressed also in the way that we physicists, we can develop logical thinking, we can develop scientific thinking. Okay. And the more conscious you are, the more you are able to be a real scientist. Okay. To develop a rigorous scientific way of thinking. Because the way we think is defining the way we experience physical reality, experience universe. If we think wrong, we will experience everything wrong. Let's say, for example, we are now for 100 years, articles are written about time, that we have an error of time. That's absolute bullshit. Time has no arrow. Time is not pointing anywhere. And this idea that there was a big bang and that there was a supersymmetry, that's all is totally bullshit. Okay. That's why I developed bijective research methodology. And there is a link. There is a link of an article uh, where bijective research methodology is applied in the research on what is time in physics. So I wish you a good day, and that's it.